Donald Trump got some pretty horrible news from Judge Tanya Chutkan this week when she issued a 3-page ruling telling Donald Trump that he has until mid-January to state in the affirmative or in the negative if he is going to be using an advice of counsel defense at trial. Now, the prosecution, a couple weeks ago, had filed a motion with Judge Chutkan saying, Judge, we have to get a clear answer from him if he's going to use the advice of counsel defense, because if he is, then that opens up this whole new world of documents and discovery that we have to be able to access prior to the trial. So if he's going to do that, he has to say it so we can prepare with those new pieces of evidence. Chutkan's 3-page ruling came out this week, and she agreed with the prosecution. She said, quote, as he has consented to do, defendant shall provide formal notice whether he intends to assert an advice of counsel defense by January 15th, 2024. If defendant does provide affirmative notice of that intent, he must also provide the required discovery to the government at that time. Any communications or evidence defendant intends to use to establish the defense, and otherwise privileged communications that defendant does not intend to use at trial, but that are relevant to proving or undermining the advice of counsel defense in their entirety. So basically what she's saying is, if you're going to come to court and try to throw your lawyers under the bus, this is for the January 6th trial, by the way. If you're going to throw the lawyers under the bus, then you cannot claim attorney-client privilege. We have to be able to see those communications. You have to turn them over in their entirety to Jack Smith and the special prosecutor's office. You cannot claim executive privilege over any of it either. So it's not just attorney-client privilege he has to waive. He has to waive executive privilege, which he shouldn't have anyway, but he can't even try to make that claim. All privilege claims go out the window if Donald Trump wants to throw his lawyers under the bus. And to be honest, that probably is his best defense, right? You know, saying, listen, I've said this 100 times. I should just record it and just push a button to play it every time. But anyway, Trump could easily say, listen, I'm not a lawyer. I don't know the law as well as these guys do. They were telling me I could do this. I listened to them. I can't be in trouble for the advice of my counsel. It is a pretty decent legal defense, but in this particular instance, not super great, because he did have these lawyers over here, your Giulianis, your Powells, your Eastmans, telling him he could do these things. But then you had a whole gaggle of lawyers over here, including White House counselor Pat Cipollini, telling him, no, you cannot. You can't do these things. So it's not a good defense in this particular case because he had lawyers on both sides telling him what he could do and that he couldn't do it, or he could do it, maybe do it. I don't know. He didn't know, but he knew exactly what he wanted to hear. So he chose to listen to the idiots and ignored the advice of the people who knew better. But I think the important thing with her ruling is not only that you have to say if you're going to throw these lawyers on the bus, but you got to give us everything, not just the stuff you're going to present in court. You have to give us everything else too, because it could be relevant for the prosecutors to undermine your defense. Oh, and you have to give it in its entirety. Okay. You can't pick and choose which ones. You can't black out certain areas. No. In its entirety, she says in her ruling. And if Trump doesn't want to go that route, okay, good. You don't have to turn anything over. You don't have to waive these privileges. But at the same time, that means you can't come to court and try to blame it on anybody else. It's all on you at that point. So effectively with this ruling, Judge Chutkan says, Donald Trump, here is a rock, here is a hard place. I want you to go right in between those two and tell me which one you prefer, because at this point, there is no good outcome for you. Hey everyone, this is Aspen. And did you know that for the low cost of $0 per day, you can subscribe to the Fair and Balanced YouTube channel. We also encourage you to like, comment, and share. But again, click that subscribe button and help Aspen not be so grumpy.